where we bring to you ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And as we always say, God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. I want to welcome Mr. Perry Whaley as our guest today. Welcome aboard, Mr. Perry. How are you?
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you for joining us today. Perry is also known as the Vitiligo Man of Action. And I'm going to tell you, I invited Perry to join us today because I'm completely inspired by this gentleman. He has a story that's amazing, and I'm just really impressed with the organization that he has. Now, I want to start out by asking you, who is Perry?
Well, Perry is a person that's energetic, full of life and opportunity. Takes advantage of all opportunities, and that is how I came to know the Vitiligo Man of Action and the organization.
Okay, so you're telling us about your energy and what you expect of the Vitiligo Man of Action, but I want to know who you are. Tell me a little bit about who you are.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. I attended Bayside High School. My mother's name was Marie. My father's name was Roosevelt.
Okay.
And I have 5 brothers and sisters.
Okay, wow.
Awesome. We later moved to Virginia, where I went to college at Virginia State University, and I was a public administration major. I also been in the automobile industry for over 25 years, and that has sustained me up until today.
I have to say, he is the ultimate car salesman. If you ever catch him on Facebook Live, he constantly introduces himself to the world and talks about his business as a car salesman. And he has been known as one of the top sellers I would say, in Atlanta.
Say the world.
He said the world. He said the world. Uh-huh. So moving forward, we're gonna so we know who you are a little bit, but we talk about the Vitiligo Man of Action. Mm-hmm. Tell me, how did that get started?
Well, basically, 25 years ago, I acquired vitiligo, which is an autoimmune deficiency. And at that time, I was unable to find any assistance, any help at all. So I reached out to an organization in Tyler, Texas called the National Vitiligo Foundation. And at that point, they sent me information and said, you have vitiligo. Okay. So later in my life, when I moved to Atlanta, I was at Centennial Park. And I still, through my journey of 25 years, I was looking for a support group or anything at that nature, at that matter of fact, at that time. Couldn't find anything. And then it found me. In Centennial Park, a young lady came up to me and said, hey, you kind of nice looking guy. I said,
she was flirting with you.
She was flirting. So I said, all these guys out here, you mean to tell me I'm the chosen one? Okay. But little did I know her daughter had vitiligo, and she was a part of an organization called Vitiligo Bond.
Okay.
At that time, I worked with them for about 4 years, and God said, Perry, it's your time. And here we are now with the Vitiligo Man of Action.
And it's an amazing organization. But look, take me back from the moment that you found out you had vitiligo. What was that moment like? The first time that you saw a change in your skin as a young man, what were you thinking?
Well, at first I really didn't pay no mind because it was just like a scratch. Mm-hmm. But as it progressed, and I had it comes in the pits, like in this part of your arm, okay, right here, places like that. So when it started getting around my eyes and in my mouth, I was concerned. And at this point, you had vitiligo. I went back to the doctor, had vitiligo. There's nothing that could be done.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt.
Does it aggravate you?
It doesn't aggravate you. It's like a silent treat. It's a silent killer, so to speak. It can creep up on you, and you don't even see where it's taken over.
Wow.
And they don't have any cure for it at this point. So I took upon myself to say I could live with this disorder.
And that's amazing that you have the attitude that you have. Let me tell you, when I first met Mr. Whaley, he was doing his job as a car salesman, and I was purchasing a vehicle. My back was turned, and I heard this loud voice, and I'm like, "Who is this gentleman?" Because he has, as you can tell, a very distinguished voice. And I turned around and I saw Perry, but of course, the first thing I saw was his face, his countenance, but the first thing that came to my mind was, "Wow, he's confident." Because when you saw him, you knew he had a skin condition, but when you heard him, you heard something completely different. I heard this man with this voice of confidence, strength. I just felt like, wow, he's somebody I'd like to talk to. Immediately, I felt like he was someone I needed to speak with. And at the end of the process, you know how it is when you're buying a car. It's an all day thing most times. It feels like it anyway. And I was speaking with the administrator, and I said, well, "Who's that gentleman with the skin condition?" And she said, "You don't know Perry?" I said, "No, don't know him." And she said, "He's somebody you want to know." And I never forgot that, and I didn't get to meet him that day. And I went back, took my car back for a little follow up, and he happened to walk by in the room with the people waiting to be served. And he took me to his office, and I said, "Hey, can we talk for a minute?" And the rest is history. He's been a great friend, and just to watch him grow has just been it's been an inspiration to me. Now, how long has the Vitiligo Man of Action been in place?
Oh, 1 year.
For a year.
1 year.
So I've watched him grow over the past year, and you are doing some amazing things. You have not just a tribe or a following, but you have such a huge support. I mean, it's like a family for you. Tell me about your team.
Well, my team consists of 4 people. I have a young lady by the name of Glenda Williams, Deborah Adams, and Dr. Cawthorn, which forms the Vitiligo Man of Action organization. Okay. And basically what we do is empower people to live, to enjoy their lives with vitiligo, you know. And not only that, a lot of times people are going through things that we can't see, but they can see ours. And when they see ours, they're inspired by us being in front of a camera or being out at a party or a major function or something like that. So when they see you functioning, they only see confidence that sometimes they wish they had.
So you had last year was your first year.
Mm-hmm.
You just celebrated your first year, and congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
What are some of the things that you guys did last year?
Well, last year was amazing. Last year we had our first annual Vitiligo March Madness Awareness Festival. And why we came up with that, because March Madness is when a lot of basketball and excitement is in the air, and that's what the whole purpose of my organization is about, is being around people and being out there. So we had our first annual Vitiligo March Madness Awareness Festival at Stonecrest Mall.
Okay, and so you had different vendors come out, and what goes on at your festival?
Well, my first Vitiligo March Madness Awareness Festival, we had about 30 vendors, and it started off a little slow, like because it was a little overcast. But as the day went on, people came out. I figure it was maybe about anywhere from 200 to 500 people that kind of came through to.
It was a great event. I was there.
Came through to speak and just kind of see what was going on. And we have vendors. So what we want to do is showcase vendors and just bring the awareness to what vitiligo is. We had music. We had jump houses. We had kids dance teams. And this year we expect to have so much more.
So you're doing it again this year.
Yes, second annual.
Tell us when that's going to take place.
It's going to be March the 23rd at TGI, in the parking lot of TGI Fridays, right here in Stonecrest.
Okay.
In the city of Stonecrest.
Nice. And so TGIF is your sponsor, correct?
One of my official sponsors, yes.
Right, nice. That's awesome. So I'm looking forward to being a supporter as well this year. Some of the other things you had that took place last year.
Well, we had a paint and sip at TGI Friday. Sip and paint. We also had a women's empowerment along with you. We partnered up and we had a women's empowerment. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I gotta say, we did. We partnered last year and did a women's empowerment with my organization, which is called Kelly Cares. For those of you who don't know, and I remember Perry asking me I've known him for a few years. And I remember him asking me some years ago, saying, "Kelly, when are we going to get together? When are we going to do something together?" And honestly, I could not for the life of me think of, now, how in the world is Kelly Cares and vitiligo going to, I didn't see it. I really didn't see it at the time. And it didn't have anything to do in a discriminatory way of saying, I didn't want to partner with vitiligo. It's just that at the time, I couldn't see the partnership. And I think it took 2 years that he came back and he said, "Listen, I want you to head up the women's empowerment for my organization." And boom, I knew immediately that our purpose had been connected, because that's what I do. And so we partnered together and we brought in speakers to kind of just talk about different subjects, from entrepreneurship to women and safety. We talked about it all. And when I tell you it was an amazing event, it turned out to be so much better than I expected. And it was titled More Than Just a Pretty Smile. And when I tell you, that thing was great, and we are doing it again this year. We will be hosting the second annual Women's Empowerment, More Than Just a Pretty Smile. It's going to take place August 17th, so stay tuned and check out our websites and all the contact information we'll provide later for our next upcoming Women's Empowerment. So You did the women's empowerment. You did the
5K.
March Madness. You did a 5K.
5K. Did a 5K.
And you did the Sip and Paint.
Sip and Paint.
And then you topped the year off with your gala. Tell me about your gala.
Well, we had our first annual gala, and it was like to top it all off. You know what I mean? To give back to our community for supporting us through the 3 previous events that we were at, and it was fantastic. Our first event, I think, we had anywhere between 80 and 100 people to show up, and on a rainy night in Georgia, you know, so it was inspiring, and I can't wait till this year comes.
Okay, so you think it's going to be a little bigger and better?
Bigger and better, always bigger and better, Kelly.
All right. So, you have anything else you want to tell the people about Vitiligo Man of Action? Can you tell them where they can find you and get some contact information?
Well, first of all, you can reach me at vitiligomanofAction.vpweb.com. I'm going to say that one more time.
Say it one more time.
vitiligomanofAction.vpweb.com. Or you can look me up on Facebook. I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Perry Whaley on Facebook. Instagram, pwhaley50. And we're doing some tremendous things. That's all. We're spreading awareness all across the country. We'll be in Houston in June for the World Vitiligo Conference.
That's right, the World Vitiligo Conference coming up.
And we have an array of things that are going to be happening for 2019 and for 2020. So just
planning ahead, huh?
Check on the website and you'll hear about us.
All right, Perry, thank you for being a guest on the Sit Down.
Thank
you for being here. And I just want to tell you guys to just continue to stay tuned. We have more to come. If you would be interested in being a guest on the Sit Down, you can contact me at kelly@mystorypubs.com or info@mystorypubs.com. The organization is called Kelly Cares, and you can get information as well there at www.kellycares.com. Thanks for joining the Sit Down.